So we're rolling into this. Ron's found out his love for rolling intros. So yeah, welcome back to the Escape Bro podcast. That's Ron. This is me, Foong. What's going on?
Not much, man. Rolling intros.
Love it.
It'll be good to find out what the people think.
Yeah, yeah.
Personally, I love rolling intros. I do like that. It gives me the impression that something interesting was happening before the recording started.
That's interesting.
Usually it's not, but at least it gives that impression. Let's people think.
Yeah. By the way, guys, we are on YouTube, so hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also leave a comment, guys. I would love to hear from you. I say this almost every single episode, and let's have a conversation. Come out, say hi to us. I'm here. We're friendly.
Just hi, bye, whatever. Just let us know you exist.
Yeah.
And we'd love to have a bit of a conversation.
Man, I know you guys are watching because I see those like buttons happening for the thumbnails that I just created, by the way. Rod's not a fan of it.
Yeah. I mean, you look great.
Thanks.
I didn't look so great.
Always.
But, I think it's...
what do you mean you did look great? What
I thought my face was all like...
round?
Like all... and stuff like that. You know?
Honestly, like this is how I did it. Like I chose a section where we were both looking. I just pressed pause and took a snapshot of that. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, there's a science behind like creating thumbnails, right?
No.
Right. So I was watching YouTube how to actually create a thumbnail. So there's the evolution of thumbnails on YouTube was that people just put whatever at the start. And then they started realizing, hey, people want to click on things that are interesting in their eyes. It's sort of like clickbaity kind of thing.
Yeah. So, I think if the clip was like us doing something sort of physical, then it kind of adds to the thumbnail, right?
I want to do a thumbnail picture after this.
Like that.
It's like, I don't know, man. That's just me testing it out. How's your day, bro? Oh, good? Good day?
Day's good. The week has been, it's only just started. It's Tuesday today. So, it's been pretty good so far.
Good stuff, man.
Hopefully cheers. Hopefully the rest of the week will be sweet as well.
This is the epitome of awesomeness right now. For us anyways.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good. Good beer. We can have a little bit of wine later. It's all good, man. Life's good.
All right. Let's get serious for a tiny bit before we go into today's main topic.
Let's do it.
The second wave. It's coming.
The second wave.
So we've also heard of Victoria, how they had a hotspot for coronavirus, for COVID-19. They got locked down. And now Sydney's just started.
Yeah. So it hasn't reached that
critical
that
mass
flashpoint yet.
Yeah.
I think it was something like, I think the flashpoint I read somewhere was like 100 new cases per day for 5 days in a row or something like that.
Is that the critical mass?
I think it was. I
it's
think
like
that's what I read.
the exponential sort of curve going on. Yeah.
So I think at that point it means that I guess I can't say it can't be contained, but it's sort of on that on that path where it's going to be very, very difficult to contain without serious lockdown efforts.
Now, I'll tell you why I'm worried. I'm worried because the cases that's been revolving around Sydney it has started from the Crossroads Hotel.
Crossroads
in Casula.
Have you been there?
Never.
I've never been there either.
I drive past it for many years now. Never been there.
Now that I think about it.
Now I don't want to go there.
Now that I think about it, I think I may have been there many years ago.
Okay, you're safe.
Pick up some wine.
Yeah.
But like from what I've read, they went very strict with some of the COVID related regulations.
I mean, come on. I have a feeling not many people are very strict on things in Australia anyways.
So I think, judging
by the people I've seen around.
Yeah. So I don't think it's a real, I think pubs can only do so much.
Yep.
But at the same time, it would be good if they were a little bit more strict with, getting people's information down before they come in. But really, I think to me, the biggest problem really is not so much what's happening inside the premises. It's the lines outside. Like I've driven past the city, on Friday nights, on Saturday nights, people just lined up like canned sardines outside the, whatever venue they're trying to get into.
Yeah.
There's no mandate for the
canned sardines
for the premises to, impose any, restrictions or social distancing. So it's up to the people to do it, but people aren't doing it. They're just like standing right behind each other, and it's just I think so. By the time by the time they get in, I'm sure there's already some spread in that line, and yeah, it's just it's a bit of a shame that pubs have to go back to their old lockdown or extended restrictions.
Yeah. I don't know if the lockdown is going to be as extreme as the one that we had previously this year, but in saying that, why I'm worried is the fact that this is going to affect me directly if they decide to lock down like a whole region of the area where I live. Because this hotel is like 10 minutes drive from my house, and already looking at the New South Wales government website, the health.nsw.gov.au, by the way, I can see that it started to spread already, whether it be like the immediate contact in the hotel to the extended contacts around town, and I can see that it's actually moving pretty quick around the area. Was not only just not just Casula, but it's like starting to hit like Liverpool, like or the Mount Pritchard or that area as well.
Well, the reason why it's spread so quickly is because this is almost old information.
Yeah,
right. These cases don't pop up until a week after sort of symptoms comes up and somebody gets tested. So by the time we find out about it this week, that it's at the Star, it's at the Planet Fitness at Casula, whatever.
Yep. I heard that one too. Yeah,
the spread happened a week ago. So now it's just a matter of contacting these people and getting them to get tested. And once they're tested positive, that's when the statistics show up.
Yeah. So
it's almost like you by the time we hear about it, it's like it's too late to contain that area. You got to sort of spread out your net a little bit further.
I wonder though, like my question right now is like, when is the right time for me to, hey, we got to start locking down kind of thing? Do I have to wait for the government for the local council to be like, hey, you can't go anywhere, stuck at home?
I definitely think there's a level of personal responsibility. You want to keep yourself safe. You want to keep the people around you safe. And I wouldn't wait on the government for that.
Yep.
And given, I think Australia got lucky with the first wave. Everyone locked down, even though it was a bit late. Transmission was pretty low.
Yeah.
So we sort of contained it fairly well.
Let's see what happens.
But at the same time, I think it's the earlier that we sort of stay home or whatever, the better.
So anyways, that's why one thing I actually wanted to talk to you about. I think for the next 2 weeks or something, let's try to do a remote podcast. What do you think about that?
Now that I think about it, what are we going to do for video?
Well,
we didn't think about that, did we?
We can just stick a webcam up our noses and put that out there. Why not?
I've seen the position of my camera.
Yes, that's why it's going to be amazing.
Oh, man.
I want to see each individual nose hair coming out.
We're going to have to get those nose hair trimmers, man, before we start recording.
My grandpa used to have those little scissors that he just stuck up his nose and clip.
I've used them before. They irritate the nose.
Why is your nose hair that long?
Well, sometimes they come out the nose and you get a pair of scissors and you sort of go to work.
You go to work.
It's called experimenting.
Have you seen those guys with like the thick, bushy mustaches? It's like you can't even see their nose anymore.
Yeah, I wish I can.
Can you imagine that, like smelling your own mustache every single day?
Well, there's like beard oils and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that'll be pretty cool.
That's something that you and I would never experience. No. Beard oil. We're not the target audience for that product. No. But anyways, like coming back to the whole COVID-19 things, I'm still optimistic about it. I'm still optimistic in saying that, look, in the event that I get locked down, there's still a lot of things that I can do from home. So I'm going to say that, hey, I'm going to reframe this. And my favorite quote by Winston Churchill, by the way, I've started looking around about this quote just to make sure that it is attributed to him. So he did say it in World War II. But anyway, so the quote goes, never let a good crisis go to waste. So what does that mean in my context, right? So I'm just going to reframe everything. Like, look, yeah, I might not be able to go to work anymore. Yeah, I might not be able to go to do my filming, even though I'm under contract by one of my clients right now to film every single week. So that's going to be interesting. Got to find out what's going to happen.
So I thought with lockdowns, you can still go to work.
Yeah, but
I mean, you can't stop people from going to work, right?
Is that what happened in the first wave?
Yeah. So people can. So you were working during the lockdowns.
Yeah, but because I don't know, like I think my workplace. I mean, I might be wrong on it, but it wasn't classified as essential or non-essential. So it was like kind of a limbo sort of thing.
If it's opened,
yeah,
then you have to go to work. Pretty much. That's how I.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
See what happens. I mean, it's not too terrible anyways. If I lose this job, it's all good.
Yeah. I mean, I think. I guess you don't really have to worry too much.
No.
If you can't go to work there, it's more likely because they've had to close or they've had to they're not essential.
Yeah.
But
point is, I refuse this whole lockdown. By saying refuse this whole lockdown, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to be irresponsible and go willy-nilly and just like hug people and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'll still be at home, but like obviously the things I can do, like for example, I've already compiled a list, whether it be editing this podcast or editing backlog episodes and start releasing them, or working on 2 websites, one for us and one for myself, right? There's still a lot of things I can do to make money. I'm not too worried.
Yeah. Does that mean that you won't be doing as many of those video jobs as much?
Well, I've already started scaling it down a bit so I can concentrate on this website and other things, because I kind of realized that I tend to take on a lot in one go. So last week, I think I was working on 3 projects at the same time.
Yeah.
And I kind of stung myself in the butt because my computer couldn't handle it.
Your computer couldn't. You were like rendering.
Sorry, can I take this call?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. I am sorry for the interruption. We were talking about COVID-19 and how I was going to make this reframe this crisis that is imminent in Kusula and make it so that I'm proactive. Like I'm still doing things. I'm still productive in my day-to-day life, sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I certainly hope it doesn't get too bad. But I suppose if it does get to the point where there is lockdowns, you have a list of things that you want to cross off your list.
Yeah, man.
And that's always a good thing to have.
Yeah. This is not a plug, but have you ever took classes on Udemy?
I sort of have.
Or Skillshare or any of those sites?
Udemy, I have. The ones I was going through, they weren't great quality. But again,
how much you pay for it?
All the courses I got is $0.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So
you can never get anything for free, bro.
Well, it was free, so I got it. I think maybe if I want to get quality, I probably have to pay for it.
Yeah, I think max I paid on Udemy was like $30 for a course. So the one I'm doing right now, it's interesting because that's one of my items to do if we get locked down, to learn a lot more things on Udemy or YouTube. I'm actually like learning how to color grade now.
Sorry?
Color grade.
A color grade. Okay.
Yeah. So if you noticed the last video that I put out was like a bit too blue. Like it was too. I didn't. I was like. But anyways, most people won't notice, but
Yeah. I think it's hard to notice these things if you aren't looking for it, or if you're not comparing it side by side with something that is color graded or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good then.
Yeah.
That makes me feel better.
But I do expect it to pop next time.
To pop. To must saturate. Saturated.
100% saturation. I just want colors. I don't want shape, just colors.
Sounds like just an LSD trip right there. Just colors and shapes, and that's it. Nothing else.
This is an escape rope after all.
Yeah. Anyways, another thing I want to do is I think we're gonna go straight into today's topic, and it's been a real concern of mine. I think I spoke to you a couple of times about this, and you're pretty pumped. I can see you smile already.
Yeah. So every week we sort of type into our app Notion about what we want to talk about.
Great app, by the way.
Great app. Yeah. And usually what we do is we just write like a 100 or 200 word thing, just flowing thoughts on what you want to talk about. And when I read it, I was like, okay, this should be interesting. Yeah. And I'm glad that we're going to talk about a topic which is a little bit lighter than what we normally talk about. And if the audience likes the lighter topics, then maybe that's something that we could keep going with it.
I'm going to be a bit vulnerable today, guys. It's an issue that I've been thinking about, and I think it does affect my day-to-day life when I converse with like total strangers and whatnot. I actually
you're in a safe space.
I feel loved right now. Okay, so last week is this is the premise of today's topic. So each and every week, I usually have one main topic that I'm concerned about. I'm not sure if this is the same with you or you guys out there, but like every week, there's always something that bugs me. It's probably something someone said or something I've seen, something I read that kind of takes over the whole week.
Okay.
Right? Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I mean, I think every week almost has its own theme.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's interesting, right? So if you really pay attention to it, you really you start seeing what sort of takes over your week. Whether it be, this week I'm going through a financial burden, so each and every day I'll be thinking about money. Or this week I've ate a bit too much, so next week I'm like really watching what I'm eating. Right?
This week is really stressful at work, and then it's just all stress that week.
Yeah, it just happens like that. So last week was an interesting one for me. I don't think I'm funny enough. I'm legit thinking
that's already funny.
You asshole! You're like laughing at my plight here, dude.
Only because I don't think it's an issue. But go on.
Really, you don't at all?
No, I don't think so.
Do you think I'm funny?
I don't think you're lame.
Okay, good. Because that's what my main fear about it is.
Yeah. So so go on.
Have you ever watched those movies about nerds and jocks and whatnot, and the nerds always portrayed as rambling on?
I know what I think about nerds. Yeah.
so you know
I've known one for a long time.
Who is it?
You.
I feel like this is no longer a safe space. You're just like going to town with me here. You're going to town with me. But anyways, my point is those nerds are always portrayed as not knowing what to say in front of people and really rambling on about things when they don't really need to. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So how do I give it a good example? It's like more like, hey, you're talking to your jocks, like, I'll see you later, or maybe tomorrow, or like the day after. It's like, you know what I mean, right? Yes.
Because that's what jocks say. Right.
I'm talking to nerds here. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, so like, let me explain this. Like, what did I write here? So, I'm self-conscious when I talk to people. You know that? And I don't know if you notice this, but I have a mild stutter when I talk to people. It might be not. Sure. It might not appear on the podcast because there's a microphone in front of me, so I have to be more self-conscious in terms of what I actually say, and it's actually improved over time since we started this podcast.
Well, that was one of the goals when we started. You wanted to improve your speech.
Yeah, but I think the main issues the main issue we have at the moment is the fact that I don't think the topics that we have is light enough or I myself is funny enough to contribute to keep people engaged in the actual topics that we talk about.
Well, I mean, in your defense, it's hard to be funny when the topics are kind of serious, kind of, quite mindful. It's a little bit hard to be funny in those, those topics. But this is a pretty funny topic
because you're laughing directly at me here.
But you're laughing as well. So
self-deprecating sort of humor,
which is my favorite. It's great. It's great. I make fun of myself all the time, and I think that really helps. When it comes to making somebody laugh.
But it's like the little stories I tell myself, right? Or I'm not sure if as well if this is something that people actually do or think, let me know, because I don't want to be the only one here. And I'm sure you guys are out there. If you have something like this, like the fact that, you tell little stories like, oh, hey, I'm an introvert. So by nature, if I'm an introvert, then I'm supposed to be lame. Right? So
okay.
by nature, then I think everything that I say is lame.
I think I'm an introvert as well. But I don't think what I'm gonna say is lame.
But I don't think you're as self-conscious as I am.
I probably more so than you think.
Really?
But I don't think that's that when I speak to someone new, I don't think, oh, I'm gonna be lame. I don't think about that. I just think about, oh shit, how can I make this somewhat interesting?
Straight up.
If it's not interesting, then it's not interesting for me. It's not interesting for them. It's not about funny. Like funny is almost like the goal is not just to be funny. Funny is like a way to take the conversation somewhere.
So it's a tool.
It's a tool rather than the goal.
Ah, that's an interesting way to
So
think
when I
about
speak
it.
to somebody, I'm not just trying to make them laugh. If I make them laugh, it means we're both a little bit more chill, more casual.
Yeah.
And then I can get to a topic of conversation which might be more interesting to me. And if I'm interested about it and it's something to do with them, then they're usually interested in talking to me about it.
Right.
So it's like I'm not trying to be like, oh, I gotta be funny.
Well, yeah. So my little story is like it happens more so like with a group of friends when I'm trying to say I'm like the center of attention at the moment. Like people are saying, hey, there's a story that you have that people want me to tell.
Yeah.
Right. And then I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm on the spots here, so I have to like deliver the punchline correctly and make them laugh at this certain point. And it never really happens. So I think of myself like, oh no, I stuffed it up, sort of thing.
Well, look, I think being funny is one thing. Storytelling is an actual skill.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a skill that I think you sort of build up over time.
Yeah.
And I think in a way, I remember when I was younger, I mean, even now, I still have a tough time talking about stories, like building the story up, making sure that I'm not, I don't get to the punchline too quickly, all of that stuff, right? But then over time, the stories just sort of, I don't try to make it funny. I'm just trying to tell a compelling story. So it's not necessarily a funny thing, but if I have the opportunity to make it funny, then I'll do it.
Okay. So
if somebody was to say, hey, tell me that story about that time you fell over or whatever, and you shit yourself,
you fell over and you shit yourself.
So that's already a funny premise, right? So you don't really have to make it funny. You just have to tell the story in a way that builds it up to get to the part where you shit yourself. And naturally the funny will sort of come out from it, because people are already anticipating the funniness.
It's actually interesting how you look at it in a very granular fashion when you look at it, because my thing was like, oh shit, I'm not funny enough. So that means the end goal in my mind was like, hey, you need to be funny. But for you, it's like, hey, how do I tell this story in a way that it's engaging? And also, how do I make it, how do I use the tool, which is being funny, to deliver this story? Now, that's interesting that you say that, because there's an actual full Reddit subreddit regarding to how to be funny.
There's a subreddit called How to Be Funny?
Yeah, well, let me click on this. I'll show you in a second. We'll have this in the show notes, guys.
Yeah. So ultimately, when what you want is, I'm not saying I'm some sort of amazing storyteller or anything, but what people want to hear and what I want to hear is...
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
So what people want to hear and what I want to hear is a good story.
All right.
If it's super captivating, that's a good story. If it's funny, that's captivating. If it's scary, it's captivating.
So you don't even care about like whether or not it's
not
funny.
about funny. It's about telling a good story. And if it's captivating, that's
pretty cool.
That's it.
I think that's a very interesting way to think about it. And you just taught me something else.
You can't always be funny, right? In every story.
Oh, I don't know. I just find myself, I think it's also reinforced by sometimes I try to make Abby laugh and she just looks at me blankly. It looks like, no, it's not funny. and you're like, oh fuck, I messed up.
But that's why it's funny. That's why it's funny, right?
Yeah.
Is like that there's a sort of a sense of lameness, but the lame is what's kind of funny. If it makes you laugh, hey, who cares?
Yeah,
that's funny.
I guess so.
I tell lame stories all the time, but it makes me laugh. So, and it's like if the person sees me laughing, it's like they can't help it. They'd be like, oh, okay, I guess it's kind of funny that way. Maybe it's not the best way.
You know, actually, when I think about the things that you say as well, like when I see you interacting with a group of people, you just deliver one-liners and it just makes the whole group laugh.
Maybe because I'm not a great storyteller.
You're not. You just seize the moment. It seems like you understand the context really well. That's what I've seen from you, anyways.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, so it's when I hear people telling a story and I sort of jump in with like a one-liner or whatever. It's like I'm almost expecting them to tell the story in a certain way, and I already have that coming up.
Yeah. Okay. It's like then again, that just means that you just have a really good awareness of the whole situation.
Well, it just means I'm paying attention to the story.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what, by the way, the subreddit I was talking about is called r/true ask Reddit, but the topic of the thread is called "Is being funny a learned skill?"
Did you start this subreddit?
No, I didn't. Oh. I'm not that lame. Come on. I have like a minor like set of skills when it comes to being funny.
But you see what I did there? I just threw in a one-liner. It made me laugh. Didn't make you laugh necessarily, but I thought
it made me want to explain myself. It's like, yes, I'm funny. God damn it, laugh at me.
Like I almost said it just to see your reaction because it's going to be funny to me, regardless.
Yeah, but I think that's something that's also wrong with me. It's like I always seek to explain myself when probably the explanation is already on the table, and I don't need to make it any more worse for myself, sort of thing. But yeah, it's been like a strange concern of mine that I've had for a while. Now that I think about it,
it's funny.
I can't believe you're laughing at that.
Well, it's almost like because I don't think I've ever, and nobody's ever voiced that to me.
Really?
That hey, I think I'm not funny. Like that's funny to me.
Now that you mention it like that, it's basically what I'm saying.
So I think as well, you know, when you're trying to make a joke or whatever, usually the number one person I'm trying to make laugh is myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. Because it's funny to me. Right? If it's funny to me and I laugh, at least there's one person.
Yeah, but like, you know, the situation where you're telling a story and you're the only one laughing.
Oh, that's not good. Yeah.
that's seriously one of the situations that could happen.
But then I'm not a great storyteller either, so
I don't know.
It's not all about just being good at telling stories. There's other ways to be funny.
Yeah.
And storytelling is not a super great skill of mine. So yeah. And I gotta say, I always like people who can tell a really good story, like just off the bat.
Who in your mind do you think, like in our immediate group of friends, can tell a good story? You reckon?
Let me think. I think Lex he's a pretty good.
Yeah,
he's
got
funny.
a very, like, for Lex, our friend who lives in Singapore, by the way. I refer to him as the glue of the group because he always managed to bring people together, and people who get close to him automatically feels that there's a rapport with him, right?
He just makes things easy
and
casual, yeah.
And that's the thing. I'm like, how do I do that? Like that's something that's very interesting, and I'd like to have that set of skill as well, because it's almost like when I'm in a group of friends, when there's not that dominant sort of personality there to glue the group together and keep the focus on them, then I'm automatically thinking, oh damn, I'm pressured to say something, and then it makes me look like I'm too serious, sort of thing. It's interesting.
But maybe that's not the leadership that they are looking for.
Yeah,
they're
maybe
not looking for someone to guide them, be a tour guide. Just be funny. So
I'll probably spend the whole COVID lockdown, if in the event that does happen, by buying a course on how to be funny on Udemy.
Jesus,
literally not a plug, guys. But if Udemy wants to reach out to us for a sponsorship, please use this lameness of mine.
Yeah. So when you're in a a situation environment where you're with friends, or maybe there might be someone who is not part of the group. In that group of friends, how do you normally act? Or how do you normally compose yourself? Are you a little bit more? Do you try to be more funny in those situations, or like?
Yeah. It doesn't work a lot of the time. So, well, for me, anyways.
Yeah.
So you know how you make in your mind, you're trying to make yourself laugh.
Yeah.
I'm like more looking at like I need to make people laugh and be lighthearted because I think this is what people do.
I think a lot of times what I try to do as well is I almost try to make fun of somebody in a very, very lighthearted way.
Yes, you do.
And then
yes, you do.
But then as well, I sort of during the conversation try to turn it back on myself. So there's a little bit of make fun of myself as well, which I don't really care about doing.
I should pay attention to that. Let's see how
that way is like sort of like I made fun of you, but I also make fun of myself, and now we're both. There's two jokes now.
A joke multiplier. I like that.
Yeah, it's really I guess comes natural over time. But I in those situations when I am with some friends, but then there are people that I don't know, I tend to be a little bit more quiet because I trying to read the situation. I got to see what that person's like.
You've always been the analytical one.
I think part of it's just not wanting to look like an idiot. But then once I know someone semi well enough, or at least I've sort of broken through the first layer, then I can make myself look a bit stupid.
Yeah, how about that? But anyways, it was an interesting read though. Like checking out this subreddit, I'm like, wow, there's actually more people out there than I thought of that actually make it their go to
be funny.
To not to be funny, but like to have like that skill set in the conversational skill.
So it is a skill set, you think?
Yeah, I mean, look, the whole topic of this thread is like how is being funny a learned skill? I mean, if it's a learned skill, then I might want to be able to learn that.
Yeah, I think
because we talk about self-awareness a lot, but if this is a skill, then obviously it requires you to be aware of your surrounding and the context of the group of people that you hang around with, right? So that kind of blew my mind a little bit. Maybe I'm just being too self-conscious in this regard, and I just need to relax a little bit.
Don't make it your goal to make everyone laugh every time. It's not going to work every time, and as long as you make yourself laugh, then hey, somebody's laughing.
Man, I can already see the title of this particular episode.
Am I lame?
Am I lame? How to be funny?
Am I lame? Featuring Foong.
Come on, bro.
See, one of the things that so I think this is something that I picked up a while ago. When telling a story or describing something, be sort of specific about a number of something, rather than say, oh, there was heaps of like whatever. There was there's only like there's only so many. It's just say like, oh, there was like 3 of us, whatever. Like numbers almost like make it put someone in that frame of mind.
Yeah,
of being so specific. So that's something that I try to do every time I'm thinking, oh, how many were there? I'm not trying to think. I'm not thinking. Oh, there was.
Do you just throw out a number, even though
just a number,
even if it's wrong?
Yeah, if I know it's going to be high, I'm not going to say 1,000. I'm going to say like, oh, it was like 850 something. Whatever.
Interesting.
It just makes it a little bit more specific, I feel like, and I feel like it helps the narrative of a story.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Some
doesn't have to be accurate, but
yeah. Let's try it out.
Let's try it out.
Am I funny, guys?
Am I funny? Am I lame? I don't know. Could be.
Hey, you got me laughing. Could be a thing.
Yeah. You made me laugh.
Anyways, I think we're time here. Like, let's call it. Like, I mean, the question of the week, guys, is anyone out there having the same issue as I am, where you're too self-conscious about the situation you are in, and you find the need or the want to be the life of the group, and you want to be funny, you want to make a joke, but that's not a skill set you're very good at.
The need for comedy. That was super lame.
That was very lame.
Yeah.
That didn't make me laugh at all.
Well, throw enough shit on the wall, something's going to stick, right?
Yeah. So do you think it's a learned skill? Do you think there's a formula to it? And what's the question here I've got? And that's one thing I want to ask people. Let us know. Is Ron and I funny? Are Ron and I funny?
If I'm not funny, don't care.
Yeah, well, that's a good skill to have. Not giving a crap. Anyways, guys, you've been listening to the Escape Road podcast. Now, look, we are on YouTube now, so hit that subscribe button. That notification bell really helps. And also the like button, and leave us a comment. Now, you can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Mainly Instagram, because Ron posts on there a lot. And
it's good content.
It is. It's pretty good. I admire his skills very much. And anything else you want to add to that, man?
Well, there's always ways to support us.
Yep.
Patreon.
Yep.
It's a $2 to become a Patreon patron member, whatever you call it. And we'll be providing you with special content at some point in the future.
At some point, it's going to happen. By the way, this episode has been sponsored by Atelier Media, my own personal company. If you need a video, photo, damn, very articulate. Photography, yeah. If you have any event or corporate and whatnot, just hit me up. I will leave my link on the show notes. So if you want to check my company out, by all means.
Do you do TikTok videos?
Hell no.
Okay.
I still think TikTok is very lame.
It is.
I cringe. Like Abby plays it all the time before she goes to sleep, and some of the content on there, I'm like, oh man.
It's probably like
I worry for
99% rubbish.
Yeah. 99. I feel like it's one of those platforms that are still looking for its own footing.
I think it's found its footing, and it's stupid shit. And I'm not on it. Don't ever want to be on it.
I've got it on my phone.
Well,
I've got it on my phone.
Too far down that path.
Yeah, whatever. See you guys.